On April 1st, 2022, FollowYourLegend.com shared a story about a baby sea turtle named Izzy. Izzy was rescued by a group connected to the Olive Ridley Project in hopes of protecting baby sea turtles until they are fully grown. However, what the group captured Izzy, what the group found was heartbreaking. When they went to administer help to Izzy, they found 16 pieces of microplastics inside the stomach of the baby sea turtle. Due to the vast amount of microplastics that Izzy had consumed, she later passed from an infection caused by these microplastics. And stories like this aren't uncommon in the wild, as she and many other animals end up dying from the very microplastics that are so commonly used and found around our world. OurWorldInData.org reported in the 2023 plastic waste article that in the 1950s, the world produced just 2 million tons of plastic waste each year. While this may sound like a lot, the world now produces 450 million tons of plastic waste each year. This has caused the world to scramble to find a proper way to get rid of plastics, and unfortunately, one of the most common ways they found is through incineration. While incineration may sound like a good idea because it condenses the solid form of plastics and releases it as a gas, it can have harmful effects on people, animals, and the environment around it. Some of the harmful effects that it has on people is that it can cause cancer, respiratory issues, neurological disorders, and many more. Additionally, the harmful effects that it has on the environment is that the toxic chemicals that are being released from the incineration can actually kill the plants and vegetation around the incineration site, which can hurt the biomes around it. Today, I'll be telling you about the plastic-eating enzyme that can hopefully get rid of billions and tons of plastic waste each year. First, I'll tell you about the harmful effects that come from plastics. Then, I'll tell you about the plastic-eating enzyme and the background on it. And finally, I'll be telling you about how to properly implement the plastic-eating enzyme and how it can positively affect the world. Let me start by stating the harmful effects that come from plastics. Seal.org reported in February 19, 2019, that plastics can actually cause cancer and neurological disorders if found in the bloodstream. Unfortunately, 97% of kids from ages 2 to 17 have been found with microplastics inside of their bloodstream. Additionally, another harmful effect of plastics is the extremely long life cycle that plastic has. Plastics cannot be broken down in the wild, which makes their life cycle hundreds and hundreds of years in the wild. Additionally, plastics are created using fossil fuels, which can harm the environment through things such as the ozone layer. Additionally, the bad waste management on plastics makes it really hard for environments to grow where plastics are being commonly found. Now that I've told you about the harmful effects of plastics, let me tell you about the plastic-eating enzyme and the background on it. UT News reported on April 27, 2022, that the plastic-eating enzyme can actually break down plastics at negative 50 degrees Celsius. The reason that this is important because in the past 40 years since the enzyme has been created, we have never been able to break down plastics at such low temperatures. The reason this is important is because this now allows the plastic-eating enzyme to be placed almost anywhere in the world except for the harsh environments of Antarctica. Additionally, the plastic-eating enzyme has actually been found to break down plastics in less than 24 hours. This is amazing because it shows the effectiveness of the plastic-eating enzyme and how it is an actual possibility of breaking down billions and tons of plastics. Additionally, the plastic-eating enzyme takes 65% less energy than the leading plastic waste management, such as incineration. Now that I've told you the background on the plastic-eating enzyme, let me tell you about the positive effects that come from the creation of the plastic-eating enzyme. PMC.gov, published on September 19, 2023, states that the plastic-eating enzyme can actually be incorporated in plastic waste facilities. The reason this is important is because it can increase the efficiency of plastic waste facilities and even replace some of them. Additionally, the plastic eating enzyme can be used to filter mixed water in a more efficient way than it is currently used. Another amazing thing about the plastic eating enzyme is that it can be placed directly in a place where plastic is commonly found. An example of this is the plastic island that is found floating in our oceans, where we can possibly place the plastic eating enzyme to get rid of all of the plastic that is floating in our oceans. Today, I first told you about the problems that come from plastics and the harmful effects it has on people, animals, and the environment. Then, I told you about the background of the plastic eating enzyme and its life in the plastics. And finally, I told you about the way to properly implement the plastic eating enzyme and the positive effects it has on the world. I hope you now see that the plastic eating enzyme is amazing because animals like Izzy can be saved from plastics if this enzyme would have been implemented in the world. Thank you.